Wow, that was a quick 30-second countdown. Hello,
Yes, it was.
everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Hopefully, more people will start jumping on. I am Dr. Maya Byfield of the Patmos Chapel Education Department, and I'm excited.
Hi.
I am very grateful to have with me Melissa Rosa Alvarez. I see a couple of people come jumping on. So if you do me a favor, guys, like and share this important, very, very, very important seminar, online seminar. It's Financial Aid
Yes.
101. Financial Aid 101. I'm telling you, this needs to be shared everywhere. Share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube, share it on college website, social media. Please, this is such important information. She's coming from Trio Connections of Central Florida. It's a very important organization that is here and
Mhm.
designed to help individuals continue or start their post-secondary education and to help them to understand what they need to do, whether it be for a trade, for community college, for undergraduate institutions. I'm so excited. Melissa, thank you for
Yes.
being here. Melissa, thank you so much. Tell me why you're here and what you're going to jump in and start talking about.
Well, thank you for the invitation. Today, we are going to give a general overview of financial aid. So, I'm going to go through a PowerPoint presentation. I'm watching the chat, I'm watching the comments. So, if anyone has any questions, feel free to just put them in the chat and we will address them either throughout or at the end of our live feed. So, again, thank you for inviting me and having me here. Just a heads up. It's a lot of information. It's okay. I encourage you to always go back, review the video. Also, all the information on this PowerPoint presentation is either coming from the Department of Education, the Florida Department of Education, or specifically Seminole County Public School. But if you are in a different county, just please check with your school district's requirements.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Mhm.
so much. All right, so we're going to jump right into the presentation, Financial Aid 101. What I'm going to do, Melissa, is I'm going to go to the background. I think you'll be able to manage this
Mhm.
for yourself.
Perfect.
Um, let me make sure. Let me make sure it shouldn't just be me.
Oh,
Um, yeah,
we
so
can
I'm gonna go
tag
in the
them.
back. Yeah, I'm gonna remove myself, and you'll be ready to go.
Wonderful. As mentioned earlier, my name is Melissa. I am part of Trio Connections of Central Florida. We are here to help individuals begin or return to school, and it doesn't matter your age. We are here. All of our services are completely free. And we encourage people to just reach out to us at the end of the presentation. Our contact information will be available. We do have Spanish speakers on board, and we are going to dive into financial aid. Again, feel free to take your time with this, take notes, and reach out to us if you have any questions. So, what's financial aid? So, there are three levels of financial aid, okay? Federal, which is the most commonly heard, which is FAFSA. State, which can be anything from a grant or a scholarship from a institution, a college or a university. And then there's local money. That's your local community center, that is your school, that is a church. Hint, hint. So be aware that there are three levels of financial aid, and you are eligible to apply for as much as you would like. The more, the better. Yes, you can stack that money. So here we go. Who's eligible for financial aid? Citizens, high school diploma or GED. You got to also make sure that when you're selecting the degree program that you're in, that it allows you to use federal financial aid. Again, there's state and local financial aid, but there are some certificate programs that federal financial aid does not cover. This is completely a case by case scenario, and we just take it one day at a time. You must have a valid Social Security. Males, you are registered with Selective Service. FYI, if you have a permit and you are a male, you have registered for Selective Service. And SAP, Student Academic Performance. This is something we are going to go into further detail towards the end, and it is something that you need to understand as a student and a parent how it will affect your financial aid. The most common type of financial aid that we hear is grants. Please be aware that there are different levels, including student loans, work study, and scholarships. Let's go over financial aid grants. So the federal Pell Grant is awarded based on the family income. Okay, the family income. Now, that fluctuates every year, and you must remember that every year you must apply for the federal application for federal student aid. Again, the FAFSA. This may change because federal grants have a limit or a cap. So you are given a specific amount, and every time you use it, the bank account just goes down and down and down. So mind you that federal Pell Grant is only available while you're in an associate's or a bachelor's program, not master's or a professional degree. The Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant. So that's kind of like a hey, good job bonus that you completed your FAFSA application October 1st. Please remember that every year, and I'm going to repeat this several times, the FAFSA application needs to be completed every year starting October 1st. Yes, there are deadlines, okay? So please be aware that your institution might ask you to make sure your financial aid is completed before a certain month, okay? That's always very important. Now we're going to go into loans. I'm always going to say this, depending where you go, loans are optional. Do you hear me? Loans are optional. They are going to have the loan listed on your FAFSA, but it is just an option. You do not need to select it. A lot of students just think, oh, I have to take it. No. Key thing to remember, very important key thing to remember about loans. You got to pay interest, okay? No matter what kind of loan you take, you will have interest. So simple math, if you take out a loan for $1,000, by the time you graduate, you might be owing $3,000, okay? So just keep that in mind. The most common loans are the subsidized and the unsubsidized. The main difference between these loans is that the unsubsidized loan starts the second you sign the paper, okay? Both of them still have interest, so you're still expected to pay them both back with interest. Parent Plus loans are used for parents who decide to take out a loan in their name. Again, this is a Parent Plus loan that will be taken out in the parent's name, and the parent is responsible for paying it back with interest. The professional degree or graduate loan is used for students who are doing their master's or their PhD. Scholarships. Everyone is available. Everybody can apply for scholarship. Everyone is eligible for some type of scholarship. It's not just based on grades and athletics or sports. There are multiple scholarships available within your community that want you to get an education. If you need help finding scholarships, call us. Email Trio. We'll work with you. So you also got to be aware that certain scholarship programs will offer opportunities specifically for their field, such as biology. There might be an opportunity within the field of biology, or that you have to take a course of biology, and that will help cover your courses. Private donors, these are people within the community that will provide you money. It's usually a very simple process. Most scholarships require a letter of recommendation, an essay, and the actual application. The application is your name, your email, your contact information, okay? So some may require 2 letters of recommendation, some may require high school transcripts, but the Common requirement for all scholarships are application, letter of recommendation, and just went blank. Application, letter recommendation, and your essay. Most essays are about 500 words. Great resource and tool to use, Grammarly. It's free, it's online, use your resources. If you need second opinion, Trio can help you with those as well. So we're going to briefly go over Bright Future requirements. There were some changes within the last year. COVID was a big influencer, but for Bright Future's requirement, and very important thing is that you need to make sure before you graduate, again, before you graduate, you need to make sure that you complete your Bright Futures requirement, which is the application and all the services for all the requirements for the document, which again is an essay, a reflection. It's called a reflection paper. I'm going to be really clear on that because there was a lot of confusion within the past 2 years. Well, I don't see the essay. It's called a reflection paper, and it's all about what you learned in your community service. Okay. Then again, to make sure that you enroll in an eligible program, be aware that if you are enrolling or interested in attending a private institution, you're not going to get the exact dollar for dollar, okay? So even if you get 100%, Bright Futures may not cover the full tuition expense at a private institution. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to TRIO or your guidance counselor at your high school. These are the 3 levels of Bright Futures. You have your Florida Academic Scholars, your Florida Medallion Scholar, and then you have your Gold Seal Vocational. The thing to really pay attention here is your ACT scores and SAT scores. I'm going to go through each one real quick. Florida Academic Scholars, ACT 29, SAT 1330. Florida Medallion Scholars, ACT 25, SAT 1210. And your Gold Seal Vocational does not require SAT or ACT, but does require 30 hours of community service. Now, what guidance counselors have been advising me is, although there is a difference between the academic and the medallion community service hours, don't pay attention to that. Get 100 hours. This is why there are other scholarship opportunities that will look at getting 100 hours. So just do yourself a favor and just keep that number in the back of your head. 100 community service hours. The difference between the Florida Academic is that it is 100% tuition, but like I stated earlier, if you are going to a private institution, make sure that it covers a majority of your tuition. It does not equal the same dollar for dollar. This is why Bright Futures encourages students to go to local institutions within the state of Florida, colleges, and university. Private institutions, it ranges. Second, Florida Medallion, 75% tuition, and both Bright Future opportunities are available for summer semesters. Okay? Now, the date has pushed back from previous years. Bright Futures opens December 1st. Okay? So October 1st and December 1st are the dates that you just kind of want to remember. This is when you need to, like I stated earlier, complete your application. Even if you're not done with community service hours, it's okay. Get your application in because that's what matters. Once you have your application in the system, they know that you're interested and then know that you are an eligible candidate. It is renewable, and if you can do it up to May of your graduation year. After that, you're not going to be eligible to complete the Bright Future application. My advice, when you do anything, community service hours or your essay, and you're submitting everything, it's a great thing to be able to give it to your counselor, But you can also go on the website, and the website is listed below, and you can submit your documents by yourself. And again, I got all this information from the Florida Bright Futures website. I say this because sometimes there's a lag or a delay or some life happens. So for your own peace of mind, I strongly encourage all students to keep a copy of the community service hours, your essay, your application, and submit it on your own. If you have specific details or questions about Florida Bright Future Scholarship, feel free to email TRIO or reach out to your school guidance counselor. Now, it's FAFSA time. This is a simple, very simple timeline of how FAFSA works. First, you want to make sure that the parent and the student makes an FSA ID. Again, the parent and the student. So all of the students' information, including their email address and phone number, need to be different from the parents. And we're going to go over the list of all the required documents to create an FSA ID. There are a lot of acronyms in the financial aid process. FSA ID simply means Federal Student Aid ID. That's it. Very simple. But there are a lot of passwords and accounts. So my rule of thumb, keep it simple. Don't get super creative. Use your email. Keep it as your username. Keep the same password. Second, collecting your documents. This is in regards to your tax return, and if you are unemployed, we will assist you. TRIO will specifically assist you with obtaining a non-filing verification letter that is requested directly from the IRS and takes about 2 months. That's why we're very adamant about helping with that process, because it is time consuming and we want to make sure that the documents are filled out correctly, because heaven forbid they're wrong. You're not going to find out till later and you're just going to be like, oh, are you serious? So please reach out to TRIO, even if it's a quick question, and we'll help you fill out the documents correctly. Third step, completing the FAFSA. All of our services at TRIO are completely free. So you're more than welcome to complete the FAFSA application on your own or schedule an appointment with one of our TRIO members and we will complete the FAFSA application with you. If you do not know how to create an FSID, we will help you with that as well in the same appointment. We only ask that you please bring all the necessary documents such as your tax return to our appointment. Our appointments are available via Zoom and in person. Okay, so we understand that every family is a little different, and sometimes we have to schedule multiple appointments just to make sure that everything is good, because we want you to be successful in school and in life. Once you've received your confirmation page, it doesn't stop there. You keep going, okay? You keep going, because you're going to continue to apply for scholarships on a local, state, and federal level. Remember, y'all, you can stack that money. And the most important thing out of all of this is to check your email. So, students, when you graduate high school, you no longer have access to your email. Remember that. You have no longer access to your student email. So, it's important that you use an email it's a Gmail, it's Yahoo, iCloud, Hotmail, Outlook, something, because that is where all this information for your scholarships are going to go. So it's important that you have a good, valid email that you check and you know the password to. And two, stack that money. You want federal, state, and local. First year of attending college or any institution is the year that you usually receive the most money. And yes, you can save it, put it in a piggy bank, and use it for the following year. Remember this. So, these are the requirements. I'm going to go through each column. Same thing. For the student, FSA ID. We can create that, or you can create it on your own. Please remember to write this down, put it in your phone, make it a contact, do what you got to do. But you will need this for the rest of your life, as long as you're in school. And if you take loans, you're going to need this to check your account, your FSA ID. You're also going to need your social security number. Please make sure you write it down. Please make sure it's a legible copy. I've seen this 1,000 times. It's okay. It's human error. A 3 looks like an 8, or a 5 looks like a 6. It happens. It's okay. But we want to make sure that before we start the process that all the information is correct. If you don't know, you can call us and we'll work with you to find out where's your information. If you are a non-US citizen but eligible for financial aid, for example, if your status is you're a refugee or you're seeking asylum or you have a specific visa status, you will need your alien registration number. If you are unclear or unsure, it's okay. Call us. We'll help you walk through the process. You're also going to need your permit or driver's license if you're a student. And if you are a student and if you file taxes, you will need that as well. Parents, super simple, same thing. Your FSA ID, parents' social security, parents' birthday, your alien registration number if applicable, your tax return or your W-2 or both. It's preferred that you have both, especially if you're married, because then that way we can see the breakdown. And if you just want to bring us your whole file, it's okay. We'll go through it and we'll put sticky notes and help you understand what is everything and why you need it. Parent, you're also going to need driver's license or state ID. And for all those of you who are married, you will need the month you're married and the year you're married, okay? And we've seen that you sometimes need to make a call. Now, with this being said, students, you are not independent because you are 18. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I will tell you. You will continue to need your parents' tax information until you are either 24, in a graduate program, have served in the military, or have a child. And if you have a child, you are providing more than 51% support. I bring this up because I work with a lot of different families, and there are individuals who may have children, but they live at home with their parents, and the parents help them. That's completely fine. You are still considered a dependent student of your parents. So, students, be kind to your parents. You will need their tax information. This image is a representation of the actual FAFSA website. I stress this because it is www.fafsa.ed.gov. It is not .org, net, or com. If you go to any website that asks you to pay, close it. It's fake. It's not real. This is a free application. You do it completely free. If you need assistance, you can reach out to Trio, but everything here is free. Please be aware. If you go to any scholarship website that's also asking you to pay, don't. They should not be charging you for that service. No one can guarantee you a scholarship. You need to apply. It's a lottery. There's a process, okay? I stress this because a lot of people think, oh, well, if I pay, I might get money. No, 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 no. You should not have to pay for any website or scholarship search services. There are 1,000 websites that are out there for free listing their services for free, scholarship opportunities, grant opportunities for free. And if you need help with that, call Trio. We're here for you. This is an example of what the IRS Data Retrieval tool is. First thing I'm going to tell you, if it doesn't work, it's okay. It's okay. It's not you. It's the website. Sometimes, funny, the government's websites don't work. It's okay. We just don't want you to stress out. The reason why it is important that you utilize the IRS DRT is because it reduces your chances of being selected for verification. I'm going to break down verification later, but it is very important that you can try and utilize the link that's right here. This is link to to IRS. It's going to take you to an external website. We can walk you through it. You hit OK. And what it's requesting is your address filed on your last tax return. So if you move, please make sure that when you are doing this process that you utilize the address on your last tax return. Okay, that's important. So I'm going to give you a quick example. If you live in an apartment, don't assume that the apartment's on your tax return. Actually take a look. My best advice, request it from your tax preparer or actually get a copy of it. If you're not able to find the person who did it or you are not able to access it online, it's okay. You can actually go to the IRS website. They will request that you provide them a account number, a credit card number, or something that's in your name that they can compare and verify that you are who you say you are, and you can access your information via their website. That is called a tax return transcript. I say that because if you get pulled for verification, you're still going to need it. So again, that tax return transcript you are able to retrieve from the IRS website. Once you've completed your FAFSA, you will get a message that says current application process. Always be aware that there are going to be 2 tabs, so make sure that you are completing the correct tab. For all of my students who are starting in the fall, you are completing the 2021-2022 FAFSA application. Okay, you're always going to have the current academic year as well, but please make sure that you are selecting the correct year when submitting your FAFSA application. There will be a history as well of your original application and any corrections that you make. You can make up to 3 corrections on your FAFSA application before you are flagged for verification. When you see your confirmation page, on the bottom right-hand corner, there's going to be a box, or there is going to be a bar that says expected family contribution and an arrow, and you're going to have to open the window. They're going to list based on your family income for federal financial aid, either Pell Grants or student loans. Pell Grants, the amounts change every year, so please be aware that it does fluctuate. In direct loans, they're always going to be there and you do not need to accept them. The information in the middle is just information about the schools that you selected. Really doesn't mean much, especially if you're starting at Daytona, Valencia, Seminole, because it looks like the completion rate or the graduation rate is low. It's not. It's because most students start there and then transfer to another institution, which is the whole point. Once you receive your financial aid, and please be aware that depending when you actually start school, your financial aid will not post for several months. So I'm going to give you a timeline. If you complete your senior year, your FAFSA application in October, wonderful. And you're going to a university that has a deadline of early, that's fine. You will see your FAFSA information by March, spring break, okay? If you're going to any community college, you complete your application in October, you will not see anything until the summer, usually around 4th of July. So every institution posts their financial aid at a different point in time. I mention this because I just want you to be aware of the process. Once you have your financial aid posted, it will look similar to the image on board. Well, it will have for the year, and then it will have a breakdown per semester. And it's really important that you look at each semester. Again, this is not including your classes or anything. This is just how much award you are eligible for or will be receiving, and then how it's going to be broken down into offered or accepted. As you can see, there are loans here that are being offered, but nothing was accepted. It's okay. That's totally fine. Work study is another opportunity for financial aid. Work study is a question on your FAFSA application. I always strongly encourage you to say yes, because if you are eligible you still need to go into the process of finding a job. So there's no obligation, there's no harm in clicking yes. You want as many opportunities as possible to receive additional financial aid. Now, work study as a part time job anywhere between 10 to 20 hours during the school week that you will work on campus. This is office work, clerical work, or assisting students. There's a variety of opportunities and jobs at any institution, but this is just another form of financial aid. It will be listed here of how much you are eligible for, and then it just depends on your schedule through that semester. And then once that money is gone, good job. You spent it. That's good. You're done. Okay, so this is just a simple breakdown of your award for the year and per semester. I mentioned earlier the timeline for financial aid distribution. Once you see your financial aid posted, you as a student still need to go into your student account and accept it. Accept your financial aid. And then you will need to defer. These two steps are crucial. If you do not do this, it will get you stuck in limbo. So, all you do is accept under your financial aid and defer. Miss Melissa, but why am I going to do this? Like, I don't understand. Like, I have financial aid. I get it. So, this is what is happening. This process takes place after you select your classes, and this is how much the school will notify Department of Education how much you need to pay for your tuition. Then you will accept the cost. They will give you a deadline. You will defer your payment. So what that means is it will push back your deadline date so that the institution or college or university will request the money from the Department of Education and say, hey, I need $1,000. Department of Education will be like, okay, cool. They will send the money to your institution. They will pay your school directly, and then you won't owe anything. That is how accept and defer work. If you are not eligible for all of financial aid, then they will have a balance, but please be aware that it's very important that you accept and defer your financial aid. Work study, I had a great question. Is work study based on availability at the school you're attending? Yes. Yes. I've never seen a shortage at any institution that I've ever worked at. There's always work study available for students. And again, you need to go to your institution's HR department or work study department, and they will help you along with the process. Great question. Now, this has been a very interesting year. So there are special circumstances. That's okay. We totally get it. I have a couple tax information on our screen. Your FAFSA work with you. It's okay. We will have go through everything. We understand it's a lot for parents and students to process, and you have a lot on your plate already. Our department, TRIO, is here to help you overcome these barriers and obstacles and reach your goals and be successful in life. So if there's not something on here and you still have a question, please contact TRIO and let us help you along the way. The last subject. I know it's a lot, but this is very important. So just focus on this one. SAP, Student Standards of Academic Progress. The reason why I'm going through this, and it's not discussed often, is because it does impact your financial aid. You need to complete your classes. You can't be jumping around, okay? You got to have like a general idea what you're going into, because if you start a program and switch, your financial aid gets reevaluated and you may not receive all of your financial aid. If your GPA drops below a 2.0, or in some specialty programs the GPA is a 2.5, you might lose your financial aid. If you are just like taking classes and taking classes and taking classes, guess what? you're going to lose your financial aid because the goal of going to trade, college, university, technical schools is to obtain and earn a degree. Okay, so they're not going to receive financial aid forever and a day. It's not going to happen. Another thing is if you take classes that don't pertain to your program, you're going to lose your financial aid. So, not everyone gets financial aid. It's a two-step process. You will be put on warning, and you have approximately one semester to bring it up. And then, if you do not bring it up or you're having any issues, you will be put on a probation. And then, within the next semester, if you do not improve, you will lose it. It's very simple, it's very black and white. Okay. And this applies to anything, your scholarships, your grants, your federal financial aid, your state financial aid, and your local financial aid. That is my presentation. I really appreciate you all joining us today. I hope this was very useful information. Our number is listed on the screen, but I'm going to let everyone know our number is 407 708 2452. Thank you. Thank you. Our email, super simple. Are you guys ready? It is trio, TRIO, at seminolestate.edu. That's it. Although we are located at Seminole State College, we do not recruit for Seminole State. We are funded by Department of Education, and as stated earlier, our goal and purpose is to assist individuals with continuing their education or beginning their education in any trade, college, university, and be successful in life. If you really just want to talk and you have some questions, call us, email us, let us know. Our website is seminolestate.edu/trio. And through there, you can schedule an appointment or just read up about things that we are doing in the community. Are there caps on private loans? Yes. 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 This wasn't the rule of thumb not too long ago. You're very welcome. So, recently, with the crisis of our country's financial status, back in the days, we could take out loans left and right, no problem. You keep signing away, you'd be great. Now there is. It's different for every institution, but the federal government now is regulating that after a certain point, you cannot take out private loans. You cannot, if you because you're just going to be in debt. That's a good thing. You don't want to be in debt. You want somebody to stop you, but that's um, like it just goes against the whole fact that there's millions and millions of dollars in scholarships and grants available for everything. You could get a scholarship for being left-handed. You can get a scholarship for bouncing a ball. You can get a scholarship for being a minority. Like there are opportunities out there, and we are here to help you. We can point you in the right direction. You do the work. We can assist you with revising the application or the essay and then making sure that you submit it in the proper way that the application is requesting for the information. Okay. So, again, my name is Melissa. Thank you for joining me today as we go over Financial Aid 101. I understand it was a lot of information, but you're more than welcome to just call or email us at any point in time. And I'm happy to hear that it was very helpful information. May you have a lovely week.
All right, all right. What an awesome, awesome
Yay.
presentation. Thank you so much, Melissa. Guys,
You're
this is
welcome.
your opportunity to ask questions. I see a
Hmm.
few of you on here watching, whether you're
Hmm.
watching from YouTube or Facebook. Please just type a question in.
Hmm.
I have a couple of questions,
Go for it.
and my first question is, what are some of the common reasons people don't get aid? Do you know?
Wonderful question. Oh, I can't believe I forgot that. So, the most common reason why people don't apply for federal financial aid or just aid is because they say, my mom makes too much, my dad makes too much, or I already have a scholarship, or a 529, which is a savings plan. Okay, great. Good for you. But you're still eligible for more financial aid. Just because your family makes too much money does not mean you're not eligible for Bright Futures. Does not mean that you're not eligible for a grant or scholarship that your high school is offering you. There are high schools that say you get a $500 grant because you graduated from their high school. It's truth. Just check out either your high school website under student services or guidance counseling, or two, just go to your district. Go to your district, school district website, whether it's Orange, Volusia, Seminole. Okay. There's a search box, type in scholarships, and you'd be surprised how many other opportunities you have that you are eligible for additional financial aid. Don't think that just because your parents make too much money or you have a bright future or you have a 529 plan, you can't apply. You can apply. Yes, you can. Sí se puede. I'm telling you that right now, okay? And I have hunted students down to be like, you need to get this. Come on, guys. Like, this is money. And then they're like, oh my God, I got it. And I was like, I'm so proud of you. You did it. I got to hunt them down a little, but they still do the work. They're the ones that are submitting the essays and the applications, okay? So please don't ever think that you are not eligible for financial aid. Even if you're homeless, you are an unaccompanied youth, you are undocumented, there's opportunity. I'm going to explain why. There are other grants and scholarships that actually require a FAFSA on file, and I believe that the Department of Education is now moving in a direction that all institutions will require a FAFSA on file. This is why. If they see that you have a FAFSA on file and they see that you did not receive Pell Grant, but the institution, the college or university has funds, they're going to select you and they're going to award you money. Okay. So, you, again, like I said earlier, you want to stack that money. Okay.
Stack that money. Stack
Stack
that
that
money.
money.
I mean, this is a classic example of people not having their FAFSA on file and not
Mm-hmm.
getting being eligible for scholarship. I always show this is my scholarship associated with the biology department at Seminole State, and it's a leaps and bounds scholarship. The deadline
Mm-hmm.
has passed, and we got a few applicants, but not that many. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is for a full ride. But one of the main requirements is that you have a FAFSA on file. That's like
That's
so
it.
important, and it's geared towards underrepresented students
Mm-hmm.
in STEM. If you're a
Mm-hmm.
biology student that wants to be in a biology major in some kind of way, biomedical sciences,
Mm-hmm.
biotech, you could have applied for a scholarship. But the number one thing is you have to do that essay.
Yes.
And so many people don't want to write essays, but start writing essays now and stack
Yes.
those. Because what you're saying about stacking the money, what do you mean? Do you mean that if I get more than my tuition costs, what happens to that money?
You get a
Do I,
refund. You get a refund and you put it in your piggy bank. I say it's your piggy bank because it's your college piggy bank. It's for you as the student. It's your money. You are eligible for this money. And you put that to the side because you know what? When you get your bachelor's degree and when you get your master's degree, and for all of those that want to become PhDs, that money is there to help you. You also got to think that if you're in certain programs, do I have to pay for uniform? What about school supplies? What about gas, food? That's what that money is there for. It's not just your tuition and your textbook, okay? There's so much more. Or what if you go to an institution that says you have to pay for parking? It's coming out of your financial aid, but in order to get that money, you need to apply. And then you put it in your piggy bank and you save it and you use it for school, for educational purposes. Okay. And if you don't even know what that means, that's okay. Call me. We'll have a powwow. We'll talk about it. I'll help you. It's okay. It's a lot of information, and we will be more than happy to break this down for you.
okay, so are part-time jobs available to students who don't qualify for a work study?
Yes, There are, because there's different places, the bookstore, the cafeteria, um, just part-time jobs in general. So yes, there are opportunities that will be more on the HR side of employment versus like the work study. But please check with your institution because they have different names for it. But my short answer is yes.
But here's the thing. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I said Elivro. Well, I need you to apply for scholarships. So many students focus on getting jobs because they
Mhm.
don't apply for scholarships. The
Mhm.
goal in for school is to do as to be full time as much as possible. And
Mhm.
I, as a professor, students who work a little, it that's good because it helps you maintain your schedule. But then
That's a
students
good one.
who work a lot,
Mhm.
their grades suffer. And your
Mhm.
goal is to do well in your classes so that you can get more scholarships, so that you can get accepted to graduate programs if you desire to
Mhm.
go. Like I went to school full time and I was a work study lab instructor, but because I had such high grades in college, because I didn't have to work extra
Mhm.
jobs, I was able to get full ride for graduate school.
Mhm.
Why? Because of my GPA. But if
Mhm.
you're struggling working full time and going to school full time, that can be a dilemma. So it's very important that you get financial aid. I have a question.
Go for
What
it.
if you have student what if you're a citizen and you have your number, but your parents are illegal?
Okay.
Because you're
So
like, you have to have both IDs. Like, how's that going to work?
it's okay. So when you submit your FAFSA application, because they are not able to provide an electronic signature, you print the page and you mail it in. If you do it with us, we'll print it right there in the office and we mail it out for you. But it's okay if your family or your parents are undocumented. If what they're going to ask for is a W-2, if they have one, or the institution is just going to ask you to explain it and be like, okay, that's it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So they would
There's
still
an,
be eligible for aid?
yes. Because if you are born in this country, you're eligible for aid. If you came over and you have a visa, depending on your visa, there's a question on the FAFSA that says your citizenship status. And there's citizen, there is no, I'm not a citizen, but I am a non eligible citizen. And those are usually in students who come from other countries under a visa. Or there is no, I'm not a citizen, and no, I'm not an eligible citizen. But here's the thing, remember, even if you pick that, it's good to have FAFSA on file because your institution, your college, or your university can see that and award you financial aid from a different department. Okay. So again, don't let that stop you. Just
That's
talk to
right.
us about it. Don't let that stop you. A great question. What if your financial aid is insufficient or your circumstance has changed? This has been a huge thing since COVID happened. So, important word, professional judgment words. Professional judgment. What this means is that your income changed. You lost your job. Life happens. It's going on right now. So the student and the parent are going to the colleges and saying, hey, listen, I know that I got so and so in financial aid, but it's not enough to cover. And they're going to say, why? And you're going to say, life happened. They're going to ask, a further detail, but you say life happened. And they're going to say, okay, every institution does it a little differently, but for the most part, this is the process. Everything is online. Be aware, everything is online. They're going to have you log in to your student account. In your student account, it's going to have a financial aid requirement hyperlink. Trio members can help you complete this process. You just need to bring the documents. Once you click on the document on the hyperlink, it's going to have steps for you to follow. In that portal is where you are going to explain your situation. And if there are any supporting documents, maybe somebody got sick, somebody lost their job, you've become homeless, um, anything to that extent, upload those documents and they will review it. And if they deem that yes, we can provide you additional financial aid and there is a change in your family income or you have a special circumstance, you may receive additional financial aid from the institution. So again, that's state money. And that doesn't stop you from still getting local money. You still need to apply. Stack that money.
Stack that money.
Mm-hmm.
Stack that money. That I mean,
Yes.
there's many ways of aid. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be Pell Grants, just Pell
Mm-mm.
Grants.
No.
I think that's so important for people to understand, but it takes diligence. It takes, I remember myself, I stayed at that financial aid
Mm-hmm.
office asking,
Always.
is there anything available? Anything available? And I remember my junior year, I would, the UNCF, United Negro College Fund, contacted Oakwood's financial aid department and said, we're looking for a biology major who lives in New York. Like they were looking
Literally.
for me. They were looking for
Literally.
me. And because I stayed in that office, they oh yeah. And they
We
and
know her.
I didn't even apply for the scholarship. I didn't apply for the
Exactly.
scholarship. And I got $3,000 scholarship plus another stipend to work in biomedical science lab, which gave me experience
Mm-hmm.
for my future. So and there I had it. I was able to support myself $6,000 for my tuition, and so
Beautiful.
it's so important. Last question for you: what are the top mistakes students make?
They
What
do
are the
it
top?
on their own. Number one, they do it on their own
Oh my God, that's so
and they
that's in
rush
every
through
way.
it.
That's in everything. In advisement. Yeah, go ahead.
It's okay to ask for help. There's no dumb question at all. I still to this day cannot compare two students, and I've been doing this for 5 years now. There's still no two students that have the similar case. Everyone is unique and individual. So, most common mistakes is students just try to do it on your own. Students, don't be trying to create your parent an account. Not without their permission, okay? I gotta say it because I've worked with a bunch of kids that are like, oh, I'll just make my mom or dad an email. Oh, I know their social security. They're going to be notified, okay? They're going to find out you're using their social security number. Don't do it. Ask permission. You don't get forgiveness on that one. You don't. Be prepared. Find the documents, okay? Be prepared. If you don't know where the documents are or you can't find them, reach out to us. Let us help you find it because there are ways to find it. If not, we get on their 1 800 and we've sat there for an hour or two just waiting to talk to someone. We can help you with that process. Be patient, be kind. Make sure you eat something before you start doing this process because it will take you about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, depending how prepared you are. Okay. So please make sure that you eat something and drink something. We joke because we have snacks in the office because we've seen people get hangry because they're like, "Oh, I thought this was going to be quick." This is not a quick process. I don't know who told you that. It's not a quick process. You want to make sure it is done correctly and done in one step. You don't want to have to try to come back and do it in multiple visits. What's another good one? Remember your username and password. Write it down. If you don't want to write it down, put it in your phone. Make a contact and save it. But don't just say, "Oh, I got this," because you're going to forget it. You only use it once or twice a year. You're going to forget it. Trust me. And then you don't want to lock your account or answer challenge questions because then you're going to lock your account for 30 minutes. There was a question in the chat that says, do you provide financial aid for summer classes or study abroad? That is a question you want to go to your college or institution. They have departments specifically for that.
And it
And everyone,
depends. Some
hmm
scholarships do go through summer, some don't. I think
correct,
Pell Grant is eligible for summer now, right?
correct.
Yeah,
And
it just depends.
and bright futures.
And Bright Futures.
Hmm
It used to only be for fall and spring, and now
Correct.
they've passed it on to the summer. That was awesome. So you can literally go through school in the summertime and have Pell Grant pay for it.
Mhm.
I think
Correct.
another mistake is that students take out loans to get the
Mm.
refund and buy foolish things with it versus
Foolish.
re- let the scholarships in your work study and everything pay for school,
Mhm.
and don't take out loans if you don't need it.
Mhm.
And I've seen students who get scholarships immediately go and increase their expenses
Mhm.
because they have this money versus, like you said, stack that money for
Yes.
4 years. If you have the cash, even after you graduate with your associates and you go over to another institution, you'll have that cash that you got from scholarships in your first 2 years for the future.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct. And remember, you borrow 1,000, you're paying back three
That's right.
thousand, and that's no joke. That's the interest. That's what you're gonna pay back. So you take 1,000. So imagine if you took 10,000, you paying back 30,000. You don't
That's
want to go
right.
down that
Plus,
path.
plus the loan, plus because if you buy a car with that, if you put a down payment on the car, plus the interest on the car loan
Mhm.
that you just purchased, plus the interest
Mhm.
on the credit cards that you just got. Like, listen, use money for school and eat
Mhm.
ramen noodles. Like,
Yes, rice and beans. You'll be fine. You'll be
you
fine.
you be all right.
Look, we still alive. We good.
Yeah.
Oh God, how
Oh
many
my
ramens
God,
did I
this was
have?
we have memories, memories. Listen,
Yes.
this was an awesome experience. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you
Mhm.
guys for watching. And like I said
Yay.
before, this will still be on our YouTube
Mhm.
channel as well as our Facebook page. So feel free to come back and watch it as much as you can. Feel free to share it with your friends. Thanks so much. Thank you, Melissa
You're
Rosa
welcome.
Alvarez from Trio Connection. Remember, she
Mhm.
gave her information earlier. You can find her on the campus of Seminole State, but this is not
Mhm.
literally just for that college. It's for any
Mhm.
institution you want advice from Trio. You can come in for free, for
Free. We're
free.
totally free.
I'm
You're
glad you watched,
welcome.
Jonathan. Good to see
Yay.
you. So I'm a lot of, I think a good amount of people were
Oh
watching,
yeah.
college, future college students. Listen, it's awesome. Thank you all.
Love the questions. Again, if you have more, call us or email us. Our email is trio, at seminolestate.edu.
All right. Good night. Good morning.
Yeah. Enjoy your Sunday.
Enjoy your